Okay, we are not just coming around our virtual dining room table, but y'all are in my house right now in my living room. We are together, we are gathering, we are back together again, and I'm so excited to have a visual component to our family talks. I just think it's important. It's great to be able to connect audibly with y'all, but to actually be able to invite y'all over, right? For us to break proverbial bread together, for us to talk very candidly and honestly about the difficult things that we navigate as we are birthing vision, scaling ambition, creating new possibilities, reimagining opportunities, right? All the things as we are founders and visionaries and dreamers, or just being hope dealers in the earth, right? And so I am just so excited for season three. I have so many things that I want us to chop it up about. I can't wait to hear more about the topics that you want to talk about. But at the end of the day, while we are entering a new season, y'all know our heartbeat is still the same. That we want to, as a tough skin, soft heart community, we want to create space so that people who lead, love, and serve in transformational ways are doing just as well on the inside as they are through the things that they birth through the work of their hands, right? It does nobody any good long term if we are out here being hope dealers at work, in our homes, in our families, in our marketplaces, and we are tore up from the floor up in our own souls, right? And I know that there have been too many years and seasons in my life where that was how I was living. And I am determined to use the rest of my days that I am 10 toes down on the earth to be able to uplift the hearts and the souls and the spirits and to nourish the souls and the spirits of people who are hope dealers in the earth. And that's y'all. So I missed y'all. I missed you. I missed being with you. We have had to shrink our season a little bit. If y'all remember, if you were an OG member of the family, you know we were doing 9 months of podcasts. Y'all know that's a school year, right? And so we had to shrink a little bit. We are together January to May because after that we shift into Rockstar Woman Brunch season. But we're going to be together every Wednesday, same time, same place, 15 minutes of grab and go inspiration to nourish your souls. So, since we've been together, there have been so many themes that have been percolating in my heart. And one of those themes, one is this Hope Dealer shirt, which we have available at shannoncohen.com. The other piece is that we are unstoppable. But there's also been this theme of building that I know that for many of us that are connected, many of you that listen to this podcast, it's because you are in the midst of either birthing, building, or scaling some aspiration, ambition, dream of your heart. And so we are a family of builders. We are a family that when we see problems, we start building and becoming architects of solutions. And so I've been really thinking about this concept of what do we need in order to build? Who do we need on our build squad? Who we don't need to have on our build squad? What do we need in order to build? And so I was going to save this idea and this concept for later on in the podcast, but I kind of leaked it a little bit on Instagram and y'all rallied around it so much that I said, okay, this should kick us off into season one. And so here's the tough skin, soft heart truth. We have to change our relationship with the word no. Anyone that is going to build anything of significance must be prepared for navigating rejection. And, I think all of us, think about the last time that you were either told no, not you, or not now. What I've come to realize in my own journey is that rejection doesn't change anything unless I'll allow it. Being told no doesn't mean that your idea isn't dope. It doesn't mean that what you're crafting in your mind isn't brilliant. Sometimes being told no, we already understand that many of us understand this and have elders that have told us this, that there can be divine protection, not just in the yeses and the nos. So there have been things that we were told no, and it's like, oh, I'm so grateful for that no because it helped me and protected me from building with the wrong person. But sometimes no is an opportunity to go back into the lab. And I started to think about this recently with my son, and I'm going to actually, y'all know that doing this live now means that you all are going to see a little bit of my notes because I take notes to myself as I'm thinking about you all and as I want to talk to you. But here's the thing. So, have you ever noticed how children interpret being told no? Children, I'm thinking about Deuce. Y'all know I'm thinking about Deuce as I talk about this. Children interpret no as an invitation to amend their proposition. Think about the last time you told a child that you love no. Children don't back down easy, do they? They will take your no and turn that around and present you a new opportunity for you to consider. Sometimes, quite honestly, kids will bring back the same old proposition. Like, didn't you just hear me tell you no? And so I have been inspired recently watching Deuce or watching his friends, especially, that mama, can so and so come over and can they spend the night or can you take us here? He's entering that stage of life as he's getting ready to turn 8. But I've just been thinking about the fact that sometimes we let rejection, we treat it like an anchor, like a sunken place, right? Versus an opportunity to reimagine. And so I want to share with you a little, for those that didn't see it on Instagram, I want to share a little bit of what I shared there. And then I want us to talk about this because if you're going to build anything in this year, you must get ready for the no. And as I also started to think about this, one of the shows that I really enjoyed before his untimely passing by Kobe Bryant was when he was the host of the show Detail on ESPN. And on that show, if you've never seen it, Kobe would highlight a particular player and he would break down their game strategy and he would break down how he would have approached a particular issue, how he would have navigated different things on the floor, strategies and inspiration. Is dope. If you haven't ever looked at it, check it out. But I'll never forget one of the episodes that I was watching and he said something that stayed with me. He said, if it is predictable, then it is preventable. Or you can strategize around it. In other words, what he was saying is that if it's predictable, if you know it's going to happen, then let's strategize for what you know is going to come. And so if we understand that in the process of building our aspirations, our ambitions, our dreams, our goals, whatever word you use, if you know that rejection is going to be part of that process, then if it's predictable, let's strategize for it. So here's some things that I've been doing to strategize for it. When I get a no, I got a no this week. I pitched an idea, a prototype to a retailer, and I got a no. And so then I took that as, okay, Shannon, well, at least they responded to you. Sometimes we pitch things, especially when we're talking about retailers or a bigger brand, big brands, national brands, and you hear nothing. But the very fact that the person responded to me, I said, okay, there might be some interest there. Maybe this no is rooted in not now, not yet. Maybe they don't have the shelf space. But I said, how can you start to position this no as an invitation to amend the proposition later? So one of the things that I did is I befriended the person on LinkedIn. Now I'm not sending an email to some bland info at blank, blank, blank.com. I have a person. So now let's deepen the relationship with the human being that was behind the no. And then I went back to that person and said, okay, hey, this might be a no right now, but I'm wondering if we could set up a 15-20 minute meeting because I'd like some feedback to help me to reimagine and perfect the prototype. They were like, absolutely, let's get it on the calendar. And accepted the meeting. I'm working to turn that no. And even if it's a no with that partner, the wisdom that they have, the industry acumen that they have, and they're willing to share with me is going to be priceless to get me to the yes. So here's some things I want you to think about. Here's some strategy that I want you to think about before you navigate your next no. Don't run from the no. Don't run from the no. Sometimes we get no and we'll just say, like the old Shan would have probably said, well, thank you for your time. I appreciate you looking and, put the email in a folder somewhere. I didn't run from the no. I went back from another angle with the no. Here's the other thing I think that we have to do. Build in spite of it. There have been times when I have been told no. Maybe someone didn't believe, especially in building the Rockstar Woman Brunch experience, which even that, you all, in 2021, we served 550 difference makers spanning the US and Canada, 21 states, 121 cities. We grew by 37% in pandemic. Y'all, we didn't get there without a whole bunch of no's. You'd be surprised how many people I've reached out to be connected to that work and they told me no. Here's the thing, sometimes the no, don't let a no stop your momentum. Build in spite of it. Build with someone else. Build it your daggone self. That's all a part. I think no, sometimes I think, and y'all tell me what you think about this. Sometimes I think the magic of a no is that a no reveals to us the tenacity that we have. It shows us, it holds up a mirror to say, okay, you've been told no, now what? Are you going to let this no derail you? Or are you going to continue to believe and invest in the possibility of you, even in spite of the no? And so that's what I want to encourage the family around. If we know it's going to come, rejection is going to come. Think about all of the books that we read by other influencers or difference makers or biographies or success stories. There has never been a success story that I have read where a person didn't have massive moments of rejection along that journey of becoming. So if we know rejection is going to come, let's not be surprised by it. Let's strategize through it. How might you use your no to approach it from a different angle? How might you use a no as a learning opportunity? How might you use a no to deepen a relationship with someone? Because a lot of times no's are actually just not yet or not now. That may have nothing to do with you. It might have something totally to do with that entity. And maybe getting told no is one of those divine door closing moments to let you know that's not the direction, that you need to go in this direction. So I'm just thinking about y'all. We are not going to let no obliterate purpose. We are not going to let no cause us to question or doubt that we are up to something amazing. We're going to do like Kobe said. If it's predictable, we can't prevent a no, but we can sure strategize around it. I love y'all. We are back together again, visually and audibly. And this year, we are committed to helping each other grow, build, and be whole in the process.